Men are disgusting in Hollywood. I'm not going to deny that. But what I don't understand is like, from my experience, I worked in the industry for 15, 20 years. Never are these celebrities are alone. So when were you alone? I just don't understand.
And are you shocked? I mean, I guess probably not that, most of Hollywood, like people are now coming out and very pro Blake and we have her back and
I stand with Blake. It's like it's
right.
when something becomes a hashtag, it makes me question it because I'm like, did you have a meeting? Because Hollywood is very strategic. Did you have a meeting? They didn't come to the Golden Globes yesterday because they're like, this is a strategic move. And then guess who's also not going? What's his name?
Hugh
Hugh Jackman.
Jackman.
So he's
N-
taking this, you
Now
know.
there are other people that have now said, "Oh, well, they never go to the Golden Globes." Now I don't know if that's true or not, but that's the other.
Please, please. I mean, even if they don't go to the Golden Globes, you're making a statement, right? You're walking around the three of you in New York the day of the Golden Globes. You know you're going to be photographed. This is like these are strategic moves, and I just don't like when people are like, "Oh, well, I feel for." It's like I feel for her too, but you also have to. You can feel for someone, but also feel like, wait a second, they're being strategic because the production company, sorry, the PR company that the crisis PR that went under, like that, like they got subpoenaed her phone, all that stuff. Guess who owns 51% of that? You're going to be shocked.
Mint Mobile.
No, Scooter Braun. So,
Oh,
so this might be a longer hit job from Taylor Swift that's trying to come for Scooter Braun. Like, I don't put anything past these people in that billionaire
no.
world. I don't
Yeah.
put anything past them because you worked tirelessly, fought with everyone on set to get a Taylor Swift song into the movie. For what reason? Like, it's like a lot of this was so, and then she said, "Oh, the production company made me not talk about domestic violence." Like that was, well, you're a 37-year-old woman. You don't have to listen to them, right? It's very interesting. A lot of what she's saying actually, it feels like housewives at reunions, like defending themselves. It's very like interesting. It's an interesting
It's
world
an
for me.
interesting, and I don't really know either of them. I mean, I heard the stuff about her. I always heard that he was very easy to work with on Jane the Virgin. Now, I don't know if that's true or what other people, that's what I've always heard from that time that he was on the show, that he was just a dream to work with. Now, he was at a different point in his career. Granted, she was also at a different point in her career when she was on Gossip Girl. I mean, she wasn't Blake Lively.
She was like in
And
her
she,
20s, you're in
yeah.
your 20s and you're so famous before social media. Like I remember these Gossip Girls cast would go out and they would drink and they would party and they would do stuff and it would be like on CNN
It
because
was
it
the
was
best show
the
ever. Okay.
best show ever. I rewatched it recently and I was like, and it's funny because she's actually not the best part of it. Leighton Meester is the best part of it.
Beyond.
She does. I don't
Beyond.
know if she ever got like an Emmy Award or a Golden Globe, but she deserves something for that.
Leighton and for me, Kelly Rutherford. It was all about Lily Vanderwood's and
Good. I worked with Kelly Rutherford. She is everything you want. She's literally you work for Lily Bass. She has all of her Birkins. We used to have her at the fashion shows, and she still goes to that sitting next to
hmm
Jenner. Like she's still pretty relevant and wonderful. So classy, such a great client.
I interviewed her for this podcast.
Great.
We love her. Gorgeous. I mean, also Megan Mancini, let me just say from Melrose Place. But
That's funny. That
yes,
was the
right?
original. That was like what people should give her credit for because that was iconic.
Iconic. So yeah, so I don't know. I find it very interesting. I too am not saying I don't believe her. I'm not victim shaming. I'm just saying like it's not a fair fight. This isn't like Ryan Reynolds versus George Clooney. It's a whole Amber Heard, Johnny Depp thing again, and that was a whole different shit show. But I don't know. I mean, I'm somewhat invested. I mean, moving on from this, I just have to say, like, it does seem like he seems to me to be presenting a lot more receipts than her. Like hers is more top line. If you really want to kind of read some, like he seems to, and I mean, he also is threatening that he has even more receipts, but I don't know. There's something about his story that receipt wise seems more believable to me at this point. But I'm not victim shaming either, and who knows?
I know you're not, but what's interesting about what you just said is like they have a lot more to lose, right? Like financially. So the fact that he came back with a
Right.
$250 million lawsuit, I'm not surprised because, I worked for a company where our insurance for our cars was $1 million. So when anyone got in an accident, they would always tell us, like, just give them what they want because if they see the insurance premium, guess what? That person, whether they're wrong or right, they're going to try to sue you for that insurance premium. So it
Right.
feels like that. Like, you thought you're gonna poke, they thought they're gonna poke someone and he's gonna lie down and take it. But guess what? You actually poked a hornet's nest because every lawyer in LA, every entertainment lawyer was like, whoo, like their ears were to the street, like, okay, we got to get to Justin Baldoni and we'll do anything because the press alone, because I actually know
Hmm.
the Johnny Depp thing. She lives in Orange County, Camille. She got a lot of clients from that. Because just being front of face for that, like that just opens up your business.
Huge. And, it's just like a company. Like, yes, there are people with so much money like Jay-Z and Beyonce, but it's just like a company. Like, companies don't sue people. They have the money. They get sued. The people that have the money don't really go around suing. It's right. It's like when you're like, you don't have all the money, you're like, well, I found some deep pockets now. Like, you're not just going to come after me. I'm going to countersue you.
Absolutely. And for what reason? To get the second book? I mean, this movie doesn't even need a second. I like the movie, honestly. I thought the movie was actually quite good. She acted really well, but the fact is you've tarnished it with all this BS. Like, even if people wanted to give you an award, they ain't gonna give you an award because there's so much negativity around it.
And where does it go after this? I don't know. Like, because that's the other thing. There was talk of a second one in the beginning, and now I don't think that's quite happening.
Mhm.
As we kind of wrap up, I'm so glad you're now a regular because there's so many things I can talk to you about. Anything else really keeping you up at night? Anything else you want to talk about?
You know what's keeping me up is like I really vacillate between this, and I know we brought her up earlier, Lisa Rinna. I'm like, I want her to like come back for like a friend of. I don't need her to come back as a full-time housewife. I think she's too cool for that. I want her like in a Jennifer Tilly position. Just to come in and talk about how fabulous her life is. And I'm at Paris Fashion Week and I'm doing a collaboration with Loewe, whatever it is, like just her fat. I just want like a little bit of Lisa Rinna, which I never thought I would say because I actually got tired of her. But I don't know. That's what's
I,
keeping me.
I get it. Well, there's this thing. I mean, people seem to think this is a proven thing. I don't know that, but apparently I guess Erica brought her to something and Erica was told like you can't film, not this season. I think like last season it was like you can't film with Lisa Rinna, something like that. Now, I don't know what happened from that or where it went, but listen, I unapologetically love Lisa Rinna. I do. I get it. I will stand by the fact that I think she just does every job she's hired for to like the nth degree. And yeah, she went all in on Housewives because that was the job. I think now that she is a model at the moment and that's how she's making her money, she seems to be working all the freaking time and is all in on that. She did say in some interview recently, I think it was with like Jerry O'Connell, that like her goal for this year is to get another series. She's like, I've had two great series and I want a series. God, someone give Lisa Rinna a job. Like, I think it's been long enough since Housewives that you can cast her now and you won't see a housewife. You
Yeah,
won't.
she's a good actress. You know where they should put her, which you might be like, what?
Ryan Murphy.
I
More.
think Yellowstone.
Really?
I like
I've
Yellowstone
never really watched it, but I'm okay with that.
because I don't watch it either, but Bella Hadid was on it recently, and I feel
I
like
saw that.
if Bella Hadid was on it, we could imagine Lisa Rinna as like kind of like this rancher. This is my